Welcome back to Read or Not to Read. We are starting the second book, the Black Tulip Chronicles. Sorry, I had to think for a second what the book was called. This one's called The Queen of Night. Queens of the Night, right?
Something like that.
Queen of the Night, because there's only one, and it's Vera, okay? The Black Tulip Chronicles. So, just like the other one started, also pause. If you're reading along with us, we read 10 chapters because there's 69 chapters in here, and we didn't want to read this book for like 3 months. So we read 10 chapters at a time, and we will continue to read 10 chapters at a time through this book. So there you go. If you haven't read chapters 1 through 10, go finish 6 through 10, and then you can come back and watch this.
Threw y'all off.
Sorry if that ruined anybody's plans. Okay, so just like we started out the first book, we start out 400 years ago with the bad king, and
the opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah, so like the good king went and talked to Lucentia. The bad king goes and talks to the Gloam guy, which I was correct is Lucentia's brother, which I don't know, just kind of seemed obvious, but I think that was the point.
They said it in the prologue of the other book.
They didn't say who her brother was. She just said she had a brother.
I'm pretty sure. They heavily implied.
Well, yeah, heavily implied.
Heavily implied.
Yes, they did heavily imply that was who that was. The bad king, the good king's twin brother, who is the bad king, has gone and talked to Gloam, and Gloam tells him if you marry, he wants to trap one of the tulips.
He wants to take his sister down ultimately.
Yeah.
And he thinks that by, well, we're going to assume he's correct. He's a god, so hopefully he kind of somewhat knows. We're going to assume he has some sort of knowledge we don't have. But yeah, he's like, yeah, if you happen to bridge with one instead, that means her magic is corrupted and I can take down my sister. So yeah, if you do that, I'll give you all the power you want, buddy. Which I feel like is very much just trickery happening.
Oh, so the bad king has gone to Gloam to get power to defeat his twin brother, who is the king from the first book that got the light magic from Lucentia. Now, we find out that the bad king's name is the bad king's name is Renton, 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 who is the bounty hunter guy that they hired in the last book to kill all the tulips. So the dude's still alive.
Which is very interesting.
Because
somehow he had immortality, but the old king didn't get immortality.
I know the Gloam guy tells him, yeah, hey, I need you to stick around to kill these tulip people.
Because he could have passed it down through generations too. But he didn't. He kept the one guy.
Which is an interesting, kind of human study thing. Not only did Lucentia warn the guy, hey, just because you're a good person doesn't mean your descendants are going to be. It's also, hey, just because you're a bad person doesn't mean your descendants are going to be.
And I'm going to do something about it.
Yes. So he kept the evil guy alive for, forever, for the last 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
So Gloam told Renton to bridge with one of the tulips. So Renton is trying to marry a tulip.
Yeah. Which now explains our deep and awful prophecy that tulips are getting killed over. I guess maybe there is a valid reason to kill tulips almost. It's not, but it kind of almost is. Because we could still just be nice and have them just marry kings before they can marry a bad king.
I mean, yes and no. For the first 200 years, the tulips married the kings, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And he either really sucks at his job or just wasn't doing it. And then I had to go back to the first book and read.
You know what? He's probably struggling. Because I'm almost betting. I almost bet.
You would think he'd be getting stronger with all the Gloam around.
But might be getting stronger. But are tulips like how they're attracted to the good kings? Are they completely repelled by Gloam King?
Possibly.
And they can just feel it from a distance and run far, far away? Run away!
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
About to find out.
Yeah. So then we jumped into chapter 1 as Vera as the person. And of course, we're still reeling from our romantic smoochies. I'm mad, Kayla.
They're so stupid.
I'm mad. There's
so much.
I'm so irritated. At this point, it's like, figure it out, guys. At this point, I'm like, I highlighted every single hint that happens between him telling Vera that he's the king and telling him that Vera's a tulip. And there's like 30 of them
Mhm.
that I highlighted, and it's irritating me to no end. I'm like, okay, it was fun in the first book. Figure it out right now. Like, I'm so mad. I'm so irritated.
I was already mad last book. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, and you know how I said I was gonna be really mad if he didn't know that she was a tulip? He freaking doesn't know, and he made out with her anyway.
called it.
The whole last book, his shtick was, I don't want to lead her on, and I have to marry a tulip. And then he just throws caution to the wind and says, kisses. Mm.
And then proceeds to no longer kisses.
Yeah.
So confusing. We hate him. Not really. Just
He's
kidding.
losing points for this. Okay.
You still love us being unhinged, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's coming back. I feel like the last book was very level headed, very like, oh, this is so great. And now I'm mad again. So you can get us
We're more
back
fun
into
when we're
being
mad,
mad.
apparently.
So they go back to the High Kingdom. In the last book, he finally told her, "Hey, I'm a high-ranking official in the King's Guard," and so she's like freaking out. Oh my gosh, he knows the king, or he's a soldier in the King's army. And I had to go back and read what she has been told about the king and his people, because the way she's talking makes it sound like she thinks the kings killed all the tulips. But that's not the way the story goes when the evil elf lady is telling the story.
I think the main issue, she's just been taught the king is also evil because he allowed that to happen.
But she hasn't. She's been taught that they're unworthy, not evil. It says very specifically in the story that they're being told at the tulip meeting that it was an originator who got jealous and said to go kill all the tulips. The king let it happen, but it was the originator's fault.
Yes, but I feel like in this world, unworthy also equals semi-evil.
But it's not. And I'm irritated at Vera because she's like, I'm done with the tulips. I'm so over it. And she says that multiple times in here, but she keeps trusting what they. Why in the I'm done with the tulips is there not, maybe they've been lying to me?
There's a how you put it, how do I put this without going on a religious tangent? Um, there is a process whenever you leave an organization like that.
It's a cult.
Yes, whenever you leave a cult, there is a process called deconstruction.
Yeah.
It's a slow process.
She's had a whole week.
That's not slow!
I know.
That's not slow! As someone who essentially came out of a cult, no, it's not slow. I'm still struggling with
I'm
leader.
joking, obviously.
No! No!
It's because she hasn't been thinking about her cult. She's been thinking about Mr. Pex over here. That's what's been going on in her brain.
No, it's very hard to rewrite your brain if you have gone through a traumatic, stupid experience and she has to deconstruct her entire worldview, which I'm sure is going to happen very quickly, very soon.
I mean, she does, but she doesn't. Her aunt doesn't agree with any of this. I really want to know what her parents raised her up in and how old she was when her parents died.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I went back and read it, and she said she started going to these meetings as a young girl. Fine. What did her parents say? Because her aunt obviously doesn't agree with any of it. So she's choosing to listen to the cult leaders.
They made it sound like her parents paid the dues, though. So obviously they were going along with it. And her mom had the bad book.
But she also had the good book. She had both.
Who knows? Well, somebody knows. Not us. We don't know.
It's irritating me. It's irritating me. Anywho, continuing on. So they go back to the kingdom. Icar's trying to kind of hide himself because he knows other people are going to recognize him. Oh, and Vera says, "Oh, you had a glamour on. You know those don't work on me, right?" And he's like, "You've been able to see me this whole time?" And he's like, he's miffed that she didn't recognize him. And Vera's like, "What? He thinks he's so popular that I should have recognized who he was?" Yes, woman. Yes. Hint one, that he's the king. For him to think that, she knows him. She knows he's not stuck up like that. Put two together. Count one. I highlighted that. Pow. So they're back there. The reason they went back to the main kingdom, the first reason they went back to the main kingdom was so Vera could turn him in. Now they're there since they're working together. They're there looking for Darby and Ross because that's where she said when they got swept up in the river. That's where she said they were going to go. So they're looking for them. So Icar and Vera kind of split up. Icar's going to the castle to go talk to people, and he sends Vera to go
He's trying so hard to hide his
to
identity
the
from her.
inn. Exactly.
So hard.
Exactly. So he knows people at the castle are going to recognize him and be like, "Oh, Your Majesty," because the thing's worn off for everybody now, not just for Vera. And so they separate before she ever gets to the castle. So she doesn't see people greeting him as the king. But he sends her to the inn, and the first thing the lady says is, "Oh, you have a signed note from the king." And it doesn't register at all. She's like, "Oh, well, they must be really tight if he can get permission from the king to go to the inn." No, you stupid woman. That's number 2. They're like blaringly obvious signs. Even if we didn't know he was the king, if they had started this out and just met Icar, these would still be obvious that he was the king. She's being willfully ignorant at this point, and it's irritating me. She goes into a little pawn shop and buys a box.
Yeah, essentially she's still like dreaming of her future of owning her little shop. Yeah, it goes into a quick little thing to give her like an item to keep hoping for future dreams.
And then chapter 2, we go to Icar. Icar has left Vera at the inn, and he is going into the castle. The first thing he does when he gets to the castle, they kind of mentioned this earlier, is Vera doesn't have any weapons. So he goes to the weapons master at the castle and says, "Hey, I need a weapon, make it enchanted." And I thought this was funny. He apparently kept the bantha claw that stabbed him, and he says, "Hey, make this the pommel of the sword." And another
that thing has to be huge, that claw.
I don't know.
He
To be
said,
big enough to be on the pommel of a handle, unless it's just a small part. But he's like, the way he says it, he sounds like the whole pommel is going to be the claw, which is aggressive.
That is aggressive.
I mean, it's got to be at least this. It's got to be big enough to hold, so it's got to be at least the size of your hand, around.
Large.
No wonder his leg hurt. So then the weapons master's like, "Yeah, I can spell it, but just so you know, it's not going to last very long. It's only going to last a couple months." And he's like, "Oh, well, that used to last the entire life of the sword, but apparently not anymore."
Not anymore.
Because, magic is dying. So then Icar goes in search for Ross and Darby.
I don't even know about that because he asked like the person at the gate, and they're like, "Oh, they haven't come back yet." Asks no clarifying question, and proceeds to storm in and be like, "Guess I gotta make a new team."
Yeah, so he asks the guard, he's like, "Are they back?" And the guard goes, "No, they haven't returned." And he thinks they haven't returned from being with me, not, "Oh, they might have come back and then gone away and come back again." So he gets all pissy, and I mean, understandably so, as best friends. He thinks they're dead now, because if they haven't come back by now, then they're probably dead, because it took them forever to get there. Yeah, so he thinks they're dead. So he goes to the fighting rink, because that's how he vents his anger, as a man does. And he starts calling people out. He's like, "You, and you, we're going to fight and see who's going to be on my team to go find the tulip." Because they still have to go get the flower. He's fighting with the third in command. And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess you'll do." And then Ross and Darby come into the arena. They're alive. Yay! They bro hug it out. And so they're like, "Okay." And so Icar basically has to tell them all the stuff that's happened. They've been back at the castle for a hot minute, because they're like, "Yeah, it only took us a couple days."
Like,
Wow.
we had to recover for a couple days after that. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah. And then Icar tells them about Vera and the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to them. This man, Caleb, why is Nadia yet at their council meeting? Why? Is nobody in this castle going to tell him that she held a secret king's meeting against him? Who the servants didn't know? Nobody knows. Why aren't they bringing the king's advisor to their council meetings? Why does Jethana not know about this? How do they not know that they've hired a bounty hunter guy to go kill them? Drade knows. Where'd Drade go?
That's a good question.
He was there for their little meeting. Where did he go? And we still haven't brought into question why there was a warrant out for your arrest. The only people who knew He says this. The only people that knew were Jethanon and Nadia, and it wasn't Jethanon. I don't know if this is just them being dumb or if this is a plot. I can't decide.
I'm going to assume he's too infatuated with Vera and the quest to save the kingdom that he kind of put the bounty. He's like, oh, I solved the problem with the bounty. The bounty's over. It's fine.
It's
But he
almost like he's
hasn't.
writing it off like, oh, well, it worked out for me because it gave me Vera. So it's like, oh, yeah, oh, that, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's irritating. Okay. Fine. Oh, wait.
Because everyone at that table should have gone immediately whenever they're like, oh, you arrested him. Huh. Oh, sorry, we're not that far yet.
We're not there yet, but they go and talk to Nadiette, and Nadiette's like, why'd you just go find another originator when you had me available? And he's like, because I don't want you. Ho, go away.
No, that's not what he said.
Close enough. That's what he should have said. That's what he should have said, you lying, scheming whore.
He's like, it's a very valid discussion. Like, I want to make sure that all my soldiers have access to good originators because I can't take them away from my kingdom at this point because we can barely protect ourselves the way it is. Why am I going to take an originator away from my army protecting my kingdom?
And originators have a mark, right? Is that a mark that they put on themselves, or is it like a tulip and it's just there?
I think it's just that.
Why didn't he look for an originator's mark on her? Because they point out over and over and over and over again, oh, most originators like to just flaunt their mark all wherever it is. Look at my mark. Look, I'm an originator because I'm awesome.
I think for him, she had it behind a collar. Until recently, he hasn't had to look. Like, he hasn't even got a chance to look without undressing her, which, as much as he would have loved to, he has not.
But all the originator marks are in obvious places that they can see where they're still wearing clothes, and it's usually somewhere on their neck.
I'm thinking it's like right here. So if I have a collar that goes up to here.
Yeah, but if you want to know something about somebody who's not telling you stuff, why didn't he just brush her hair aside and look? So anywho, friggin' Nadia is still at these meetings as she shouldn't be. When did they have the king's meeting? Were Ross and Darby already back? Did they? Is nobody talking to anybody? People should know things.
People should know things.
People should know things, and they're not knowing things, and it's irritating me.
It's a very good question, though. Why didn't Jeff know?
How did Jethanon not know there was a meeting? And if Drade is on Ikar's side, why didn't he go and talk to Jethanon?
He's very specific wording of I'm as loyal as I have ever been. He did not say he's truly loyal to the High King. But he sticks up.
He's on his side enough.
Maybe his whole kingdom is just traitors at this point.
And then Jethanon, both Darby and Ross instantly go into, oh, it's Vera, is it? We're on first name basis? Okay. And then Jethanon does the same thing. He's like, oh, I've never seen you prepare such a grand entrance for a friend. and Ikar's just like, yeah. She's just a friend. We're just friends.
I just really need her to like me so I can get her to go with me.
Yeah, so Ikar tells all of them she doesn't like me. She doesn't like kings. So we're just soldiers. Wink, wink.
Honestly, I'm shocked Nadiette didn't give. We're not there yet. I'm sorry. I keep waiting for Nadiette to just try to turn this whole thing into a disaster. Anyways, yes, we're all like wink, wink, and y'all gonna meet her soon. Hee hee, ha ha. So essentially, he's gonna have a little dinner for everyone to meet everyone before they go on their little thing.
Yep.
He's like getting her the best of the best dresses, making sure she's pampered at her little hotel. Like everything is going on right now.
Yeah. Every time Ikar looks at Nadiette, he's like, I really thought I used to like you. But Vera. No, don't think about that. But Vera. I'm like, dude. All you have to do is kiss her on the back of the neck, move her hair aside, bada bing, bada boom. Oop, whoop, there you go.
No.
So irritating.
He would still miss it. I have no faith in them right now.
Yep,
Part of it could be that bracelet, for him at least.
Jethanon figured it out in 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
The spell isn't against Jethanon.
Still.
And he's obviously smarter than the average Joe.
We're not
I'm
there
pretty
yet.
sure this is the smartest man in the kingdom.
I think it's also the oldest man in the kingdom.
Quite possible. Okay.
Chapter 4. The start of this, correct. I've never been great at navigation. Yeah, we know, sweetheart. We know. This is what started all of our problems in the first place. You wandering into goblin trees because you're not great at navigation.
But for where we are there, I think we've kind of skipped around a little bit. Essentially, whenever we got to the city, he handed her a note telling her where to go and then disappeared. So she's been like navigating the city just
Yeah.
blindly. It's a city she's never been to because this is the
That's
High
not
Kingdom, and she's like, I don't
been
know where I
avoiding it
am.
at all stakes her entire life.
Yeah, so he
Little
sends
stuff
her
like that.
to this nice little thing, and I think she finally finds it in chapter 4, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
she says, I was very proud of myself after only having to ask 4 different people where to go. But he sent her to the Dapper Canary.
Very nice place.
Yeah.
Gonna say little fresh flowers everywhere. Gonna say nice, clean patrons. Like you can tell it's a fancy place.
And when she hands the little lady her the note that Icar has signed, and Icar is the name of the king, she says, on the royal tab, always room for a friend of the king. It's like alarm bells should be going off in her little head, but they're not. And it's irritating me. So, anywho, she goes up to her room. It's real fancy. Oh, and another thing, she points out all the time. Normally, my bird is such a good judge of character. She's so great. She tells me which contracts to take and who I should and shouldn't talk to and which people are good and which people are bad. But you're confused why she likes Icar so much. Trust the bird. What's the point of having somebody that you've trusted your entire life since she got the bird in the first place if the first time she does something weird, you're not going to trust her? Yeah! It's like, at this point, I'm mad at you for not figuring this out.
I was already upset with them. You're just late to the party.
I was intrigued by the flirting, and it was cute last book. Now we need to figure it out, okay? We have to save everybody in the kingdom. Focus, everybody. Focus. Goes into the fancy room. She takes a bath. That's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
And then the dresser people come
Mm-hmm.
and give her a dress, which is an originator's dress. It's very bright white. And then she gets
But
measured for
he
armor.
hasn't really even like taken into consideration either. She already said she's not like the other originators,
Mhm.
and like I don't like do all of this. And so the first thing he does is get her a big poofy originator dress.
He does. But didn't we just talk about her being a healer?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we ended the chapter. Not only has he been engaged to an originator and grown up with an originator and has been side by side and supposedly in love with an originator for most of his adult life, his best friend is a healer, and he doesn't know that originators can't be healers and healers can't be originators. How does he not know that?
Got me. Yeah, I think this might be a little bit of plot hole. Sorry, darling, but I think there's a little bit of plot hole right here. Unless we're going somewhere with all this.
Darby's gonna have to point it out in 2 seconds. Be like, "Oh, you healed him." It's gonna be part of the story, and then he's gonna be like, "But I thought you were an originator," and he's probably still not gonna figure out. It's gonna piss me off.
Switching spots back did not make you
It
go back
didn't.
to your
It didn't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe in my luteal phase now. It's just okay.
be aggressive. Be aggressive.
I'm sorry. It's just irritating me because I like them so much. See, now I'm actually
Christina
irritated.
wants the slow burn, but can't do slow burn.
You burned for a whole book, and you really didn't. It's really not a slow burn. Okay, in my brain, for it to be a slow burn romance.
I guess I'm talking more of a slow burn for the storytelling than a romance specifically.
Okay, well, because you can't. I'm so tired of tropes. Tropes are irritating. First of all, spoiler alerts. Second of all, none of them are true.
Like realistic.
No, not realistic. None of them do what they actually say they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like a slow burn romance, this would probably be considered a slow burn. It's not really, because they weren't romantic at all until halfway through the first book, and that's when the slow burn starts. Because she was afraid of him. She didn't know him. She thought he was going to kill her. That is not romance, book talk, as much as you want it to be. It ain't. Okay? Get over it.
It can be just different, really, really, really different writing.
No, it's not. We're not redefining terms because horny people read books on book talk. Okay? Thinking somebody's going to murder you in your sleep is not romance. Never has been, never will be. Okay? And him not murdering you is not a sign of flirting. What is wrong with people? Ah!
I want to rile you up. This one get me coughing.
I'm sorry.
No, I want to rile you up.
I'm tired of tropes. I'm tired of it because people aren't writing. I'm not this one specifically, but people in the popular book world aren't writing stories. They're writing tropes. Tell me a story and then let your people decide where it falls. Okay? Don't specifically write it to be a trope. I'm not saying this book is doing that. I'm saying in general, as a general thing.
She has a big issue with enemies to lovers because 90% of enemies to lovers do not actually enemies to lovers.
I have a problem with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
commented.
know. I'm just using that as an example.
I commented on somebody's TikTok a little while ago. It was, it was like one bed, one this, one horse, and I said, try it before you ride it because that is not romantic. It hurts. Either you are grinding up against the pommel of the and it hurts, especially if you're riding Western. I dare you to go sit on the horn of a saddle and have any romantic thought in your brain. Or you're riding behind the saddle and you're on the horse's butt, which is bump, 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 and it's really uncomfortable. Okay. It's not cute. It's not cute.
No,
It's,
I do agree on that one.
try it before you ride it. I said the only thing that is cute when there's just a one trope is Lady and the Tramp where they're eating one string of spaghetti. Okay. That's adorable. I suggested do one cookie. Like he gives her the last cookie or always gives her the last bite of food. Adorable. Riding on one horse. Mm-mm. I don't care if you have the biggest horse in the world. The saddle's only so big, and then you're not in the saddle anymore. Anywho, we've
Even
completely.
if the saddle was big enough, 90% of those start off with where just one person's riding it. So even if there are saddles that exist for two people to ride it like that, that person did not come prepared like that.
Yeah. I no, the point of a saddle is to keep you on the horse. It is meant to cup your butt to keep you on the horse. So if you had a saddle big enough for two butts, you'd always
You're
have to
not
ride.
wearing
You're not wearing it right.
You're not. Why? You're going to fall out of it.
Exactly. You just ride bareback.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well. A horse's back is only so big. You can be riding a Clydesdale and it's only so big. Like, it's
Not to mention poor horse.
exactly. Can you imagine? Because the dude's always 7'4" and 5,000 pounds of muscle. Poor horse is trying to carry around this guy, and then she jumps on, but she's always light as a feather. So I guess it doesn't really matter. This is why I want to read Western, Kayla. I'm tired of fantasy. I want to read a Western or sci-fi. We can do sci-fi.
We're doing sci-fi next.
I need a break. I need a break. Nothing to do with this book. I've just had a week. Okay, continuing on. I don't even know where we are.
We were measuring her for dress and armor, and then they're like, "Hey, make sure you're looking for an unmarked carriage."
Yes, that's where we are. Thank you for paying attention.
Look for an unmarked carriage. She's like, "Okay, sure, whatever, I guess." And then frets and then goes to sleep. Is my understanding, kind of thing. Or that same day. I don't know. I've also had a week, and I'm struggling.
No, she doesn't go to sleep. She takes a bath and then goes into the carriage. This is all
Okay.
the same day. Yeah.
Gosh, a lot of chapters in one day. Anywho, so we're off to see the wizard.
Yes. Well, they're off to the castle, and she thinks, "Oh
Nice.
crap, that's where the evil king lives." Which I really don't really. She doesn't have a whole lot of reason to think that the king is evil. Like,
As much backstory as we got, I think we need more to understand that part. Now, on top of what has been they have let her do, they have done to her people. Bear with me here, I'm finding words. And then she's poor on top of that, and she sees all the poor people who are suffering, and the king allows them to continue suffering. Could also add on to that. 'Cause she doesn't see what Hottie McHottie Pants does in his castle to help. She just assumes that he's just letting everything happen and be terrible. Everything's his fault, which it kind of is, but it's not.
fine, we'll let
That's
it
the only
slide.
thing I can think of.
Yeah.
I just want to play double advocate. I think is all I want.
Even the bird is irritated at her being super. Oh my god, he's so sexy. The bird's like, "Focus, woman. We need to focus. You're paying attention to the wrong things." So she's got that originator dress on, looking super fly. She's covered her mark with her hair. As a woman who has really long hair, I feel like this is not a very good cover up. Like,
One gust of wind and no
I
gone.
no, I first of all, my hair is almost always up.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I'm always uncovering my neck because I'm hot, because hair is hot. You go wear a scarf around and walk around like this with your hair scarf and see how long you leave it on your neck. Especially when you're tromping around the woods. Kayla
Helps a
has an
lot.
undercut. Yeah, but I can see your neck.
I know. I'm just saying, I love my undercut.
I know.
Even whenever I do have my hair down, it helps there be a breeze through there usually.
Oh, my hair's so light and wispy that there's a breeze. It's just I have to like get it off. It's like it's touching me.
I used to have a big problem with jackets, like the hood. It would always get tangled up on the hoods
Mm-hmm.
right there, and I hated it. That's why
Mm-mm.
it got shaved.
Mm-mm.
Anywho, not us going on another weird tangent. So we're heading off to the castle. We're scared about Mr. Evil King that doesn't exist because, well, not the king that she's worried about. There's another king, but she doesn't know that yet. I'm very interested to see whenever they run into him. Renton.
He's not. Oh, yeah.
A long
He's not
past.
really a king. His kingdom's
Close
kind of
enough.
gone. Yeah.
Fine, evil prince.
The evil prince. Oh, we're to point number 4 of how she should know Icar's the king. She's listening to people outside of the carriage as she's coming to the castle, and she hears 2 ladies talking that say, "The king returned home just yesterday." Wow. Who else just got home yesterday and has now sent me on the king's tab to go to a hotel? Wow.
No hints taken.
Not a single clue.
None.
Not one. So she's working herself up to going into the castle. She's very nervous. She doesn't really want to go. And then they get there, and Rupi instantly flies to Icar's shoulder. It's like, "Hey, buddy, missed you."
I would like to point out that she's been looking for Icar, like waiting to be on Icar's shoulder the entire time.
Oh, yeah, Rupi wants to get back to Icar.
Really bad. Like she's just been looking for him as soon as they started flying,
As soon as they
driving
split.
towards the
Yeah.
castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's so sweet. So he's there with the other Nadiette and then the 2
Ross and
buddies.
Darby
Yeah.
and Jethanen.
And he set
He
Ruby
gave her
out.
a little platter of birdseed.
So perfect.
He was cute.
And
No
he's
wonder
so
Ruby
happy.
likes him.
Ruby's like, I don't bite the hand that feeds me. Ha 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 ha. Please feed me.
And again, she's not trusting her bird. When she walks into the castle, like she thinks, "Oh, I'm in danger. This is scary." And the bird is completely at ease in the king's castle, and we're not paying attention to it. They go and they eat dinner. She goes up there to go eat with them, and she's basically thinking, "Oh no, the king's going to be here," and she's super scared about it. But she gets up to they're on kind of like a balcony with a big table, and it's just the 6 of them. So she looks in there and she's, "Oh, he's not there." She's thinking the king's going to be there
Important mission, right?
because Icar's one of his friends, and she knows the king is in the palace, and so she thinks, "Oh, if they're that close, the king's probably going to be at the dinner because I haven't seen him. Been with him for a week, woman. Figure it out." Anywho,
Essentially, I would just say from here we're just. Oh Lord.
we're on to number 5 reasons.
Oh yeah.
She points out herself. She says, and I quote, "If I thought he, Icar, looked comfortable at Mama Tina's. He looks completely at home and more at ease than I've ever seen him, 'cause he's in his house. Caleb, make it make sense,
It gets
Caleb.
worse.
It gets worse.
It gets worse.
So they eat. Vera likes Jethanen. Vera obviously doesn't like Nadiette because Nadiette is still trying to be a hoe. And
Hmm.
she's like trying to like nuzzle up to Icar, and Icar's like, back up, woman. Get away from me.
She's like, they're doing. Nadiette's trying to be like smart and get the best of Ivy, and Ivy's
Yeah.
still outwitting her very easily.
Yeah. They're pretty much just kind of sparring. There's not a whole lot of it, but it's
Mm-mm.
enough.
It's
Where
enough.
Nadiette doesn't like Ivy, and Ivy, or not Ivy, Vera, and Vera doesn't like Nadiette.
And and Icar and her are just making eyes across the table, so everyone knows.
Googly eyes. All the Googles. And then she's like, yay, Ross and Darby aren't dead. Sorry, it's my fault. You almost died. Hey, guys.
And they're trying to throw her off real quick by, oh yeah, we met her because she destroyed the list of tulips. Okay, back to normal conversation. I just want to throw you off.
Yeah.
Haha.
Which apparently we've forgotten about. I mean, granted, they did jump into a river and there were goblins, but I feel like it hasn't been that long that we shouldn't remember it. So they're telling their tales at the dinner table. Oh, we're catching up. What happened to you guys when we got separated? What happened to you guys? And Nadiette's like, how'd you people meet in the first place? And one of them, I don't remember which one, Darby or Ross goes, oh, well, we were at an inn and we had this list of tulips and Vera ruined it. And Vera's like,
And Nadiette's going,
and Nadiette
what?
freaks out.
What?
Nadiette drops her spoon into her bowl. It's like, ooh, ooh. Another thing that she didn't point out first, Vera is thinking in her brain, she goes, oh yeah, the list of tulips that had everybody except for one person on it.
Yeah, I don't think they ever mentioned that.
They didn't. And we still trust her? It has. Why would there be an entire list with just one left off? Just one left off.
Is it not Vera's name that's been left on?
No.
Was her name actually on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't say Vera though. Her name is like Amavirama or something.
Something like that,
It's
yeah.
something. It's Vera is a nickname. It's a shortened name of her actual name. But no, it's the leader lady.
Probably. I didn't catch that. My brain was thinking it was Vera's.
It has to be the leader lady. The leader lady's name was not on the list, but we still trust her for some stupid reason. And then we're on to number 6 of how she should know that this is the king. Darby says, you arrested our highest commanding official, you know.
There's worse.
I know.
There's worse.
There's worse. I, I when Icar told her that he was a high-ranking official, fine, whatever. You could consider him one of the top. But he says you arrested the highest, and she's still like, oh, biceps. And then she's like, oh, Darby and Ross are cute. So she's like, ooh, oh no, I'm gonna have to be alone in the woods with 3 magnificent men for the sake of the kingdom. What a shame.
What a shame.
What a shame. And then Nadiette's still picking at him. Oh, you two were alone? And then we're on number 7 now. Jethanen says, I must say, I'm glad to have you back, your mad commandership. He just called him your majesty. Are we not paying attention? We're not paying a lick of attention. What else was that supposed to see? Your magnificentness? What else was he gonna woman? Figure it out. They eat dinner. They're happy. Vera's stupid. And then they are about to go look at Jethanen's workshop.
Just her, him, and Jeff.
Yep, Icar and Jeth. Jethanen has said that he's made a weapon and they're gonna go show it to him. And Icar keeps leaning down and whispering in her ear and talking to her and be like, are you sure you wanna go? Stop flirting with her. You're losing points.
In case anyone lost track, she's mad because, as far as he's concerned, he can't marry her and needs to leave her alone.
Leave a girl alone.
Even though he's magically drawn to her. I feel like it's one of those things, like the closer you are and the more you're not fulfilling the magic bond, the harder it is to resist, is almost where we're going with this.
I know. But we're on example 7 so far of how she should know that he is the king. And she's not putting 7 and 7 together. There's 7 more.
That's just from this book. He's shown her his royal seal.
I know. Grrr. So they go to they go to Jethanin's workshop, which is billowing blue smoke that they're confused about. Um, and then she's looking around at his little, they call them experiments, and she finds a little glass vase full of gloam, and she's like poking it, poke, 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 poke. And she's like, I wonder what would happen if I put some little lucian into this little gloam monster. They had just a little bit of gloam. It's a little baby gloam monster.
I would like to explain more into that why. Because she's like, I've never had to fight a glow monster before. I only provide my magic. I wonder if like I can do anything against a glow monster.
Which we've
I feel
never
like that's
tried in the
important.
30 years we've been alive. We've never tried. So she goes, zip, and the thing goes, poof. And she's like, I killed it. It's like a kid at a store when your mom says, don't break anything, and you're like touching stuff anyway, and then something falls, and you're like, I didn't touch anything. And you go find your mom and act like you haven't done anything. It's exactly what she kills the little glow monster. And then Jethanin's trying to show Icar the weapon. So she's like, ooh, I killed it, and kind of hurries up and goes and stands next to them. And Jethanin has this purpley powder stuff. And he's like, here, let me show you what it does. And Vera's like, please don't go to the jar. Please don't go to the jar. And that's exactly where he goes. So Jethanin has created a little powdery dust stuff to get rid of gloam.
Or at least to defeat gloam creatures.
Mm-hmm. Which is sketchy.
Jeff is good. I refuse to believe otherwise.
I think he's good, but it's kind of sketchy.
Why? Is it just killing magic in total? Where there's less magic?
No, because he's explained that tulips can get rid of the gloam, and only lucent magic can do it. Otherwise, they would have been doing it already.
But what if there's just certain chemicals that you can mix with magic? Because he has magic of some sort. I'm going to assume he's an originator.
He's a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
Anywho, we're not going to go too far in that because we don't even know. We're already taking way long.
It's slightly sketchy. Anyhow, so he goes, interesting. He looks at him, he looks at me, and look at me. He goes, Vera, this little thing that's been in here, you're the only one that's been in here. I know Dum Dum didn't do it. So what'd you do to my little glow monster? And it takes him 2 seconds to figure out that Vera's a tulip. And Vera's like, I gotta go, bye. So
literally runs from the room.
Literally runs away. And then Icar's like, okay, see you later. Talk to you tomorrow.
What did you do? Did she choke on the gas? What happened?
He's clueless. And then Jethanin's like, oh, good job, Icar. Oh, you don't know? Because you're retarded.
I feel like this is just ancient wizard babysitting a bunch of children.
And then Icar apparently has asked for some sort of good king juice from Jethanin. And Jethanin's like, you don't need it, dude. And he's like, and there's more that I highlighted here from Jethanin telling Icar,
you don't even need my little magic.
I know for a fact that you're going to find a tulip. And then he says something else. And it's not that he just says it. He says it in italics. So Jethanin says, you should thank me for producing such an astounding plan to save the kingdom. It's going better than even I imagined. And then he says, in italics, he says, it's one of the best ones. He's talking about the thing, the powder. He says, it's one of the best weapons I've come up with to fight the gloam. But I think your originator you found might be better. And originator is italicized because he's saying it sarcastically. And Icar's like, what?
This man doesn't ask.
And he asks, he says, is there something I should know? And Jethanin says, no, go on.
Because he knows he'll ruin it. He will ruin it.
I think part of the king being worthy is the king has to figure it out himself. And currently he's unworthy because they're both being stupid. But I think that's the only reason Jet's not saying anything is because they have to figure it out and they have to get together by themselves without interference, telling them, hey, you need them. Because if it's not, then they're coming together because they want to save the kingdom, not because they're them. I might be reading into that more than
I don't think that makes them unworthy because they never said it had to be a love match.
That's true.
You just have to take care of them.
He says, yep, I don't need to make you a worthiness juice. You already got it. He says, I'm confident you will return with a tulip.
And then he just goes, oh, man, this dude. Icar's just like, oh, man, this dude always confuses me. I'm not even going to ask questions now.
Dude!
He just spelled it out for you.
And then, so once he leaves Jethanin's room, he goes and talks to Nadiette, and Nadiette threatens him, like straight to his face. She says, your position as a high king is in danger. And he says, no, it's not, unless you told them. And she doesn't say anything. And he goes, oh, so you did tell them. So he knows that Nadiette is bad, but he's still talking to her. Why is he talking to her?
I don't think he understands yet. I think he thinks it's woman scorn. A woman scorn is just going to blow over eventually. That's not how that works.
He specifically didn't tell the other kings that he was going to go look for a tulip because they voted on it and they said no. And then she went and told them. So she is in direct opposition of what he told her to do. She is a traitor at this point.
Mm-hmm.
She directly defied an order from the king. No. And then chapter 9, Vera's supposed to meet them in the stables the next morning to go off on their adventure to go find the tulip. And she doesn't know they're looking for a tulip. She just thinks they're looking for a magical flower. Apparently,
Why is no one asking questions though?
nobody's asking.
We have a list of tulips, and you're scared. Oh, he had a list of tulips. Either way, he's planning on doing something with us. Maybe I should ask some more questions.
Well, and she doesn't. They make it sound like they don't know about the physical tulip that they need, the actual flower tulip. The tulip humans don't know about the tulip flower.
No one's asking questions.
If we would spend a little less time trying to fight our feelings for each other and a little more time asking questions and getting to know each other, we could solve our problems very quickly. Which, when they go off with Darby and Ross, they're gonna see it instantly. They already do. They're gonna be like, yeah, y'all don't like each other. Sure. That's gonna be fun to watch.
It's gonna be fun.
So Icar goes down to the stable. We're in chapter 9. Icar goes down to the stable, and lo and behold, who is there? Vera is petting his horse. And Dum Dum comes over there and says, oh yeah, that's the king's favorite horse. And he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Because what if she asks, which horse is yours? That one. Anyway, they're flirting. They're resisting each other. And then they go out into the yard, and there's 3 horses saddled, which has nothing to do with what's about to happen. So she's like, ugh, why is there only 3? Where's my horse? What's going on? What am I riding? And he goes, we're riding those things over there. And they have gotten some of the sharp flyers from the evil, horny shifter Lion King.
And she's like, huh,
I wonder how that happened.
how do you have access to that? Oh, you must be really high in the kingdom here.
So they go to go ride the sharp flyers. And again, there's only 3 because we couldn't have gotten 4, heaven forbid. We have to ride together. At least it's not a horse. Poor horse.
To be fair, with as clumsy as she is, do you dare put her on her own beast to fly in the sky with?
Well, and she's probably get lost. I don't know. But anyhow, so Darby has his own, Ross has his own. They've never flown these things before. Icar's acting like, yeah, I know how to do this, even though she's like, dude, we just did this 2 days ago, and I know you didn't know how to ride this thing. So Ross gets off the ground fine because he's a hunter and he's more
in tune with animals.
Yes, or is just physically capable. He's more athletic than Darby is. Darby's trying to ride around on the thing, and he's like, it's just like going in circles. He can't get it to take off. So Icar is trying to tell him how to ride it, and Vera's like, he's touching me.
And Rupee.
And Rupee's over here trying to match make. She's sitting on his leg. So then he's like, oh, okay, you're just grabbing the bird. Got it. And then he starts trying to help Darby get on his monster thing.
We go, wee!
Yep, then they fly off.
That's about it.
Oh, so they start flying and they're looking down onto the ground and she sees all the gloam and stuff around and she's like, I didn't realize it was this bad. And he's like, yeah, it sucks. Everybody's bad. Yep, and then she goes back to the stupid, well, not my job to ask questions. It should be. It's always your job to ask questions. Whether it's your actual job or not, it is your personal job to ask questions. It's mandatory. And then they're off on their adventure. And that brings us to chapter 11. If they don't figure this out within the next 10 chapters, I'm going to chuck a Kindle at something. Okay, I really need them to figure it out. I need them to figure it out. And I need them to figure it out now. Because there can still be tension. We don't need the not knowing. There can still be tension. She at least needs to find out that he's the king. Because then she can still do her back off, oh, I think kings are bad. And that'll be fine with the story. That'll be fine with the plot. But somebody needs to figure out something.
If she figures it out, she's going to probably run away and
She's
get
probably going to
captured
try
and
and
have
run
to be
away,
rescued.
which is fine. She can be rescued again. We like rescuing people. That's fine. This is just going to be, but I like him, but I don't, but I like him, but I don't. Which she's already doing. She can just do it with knowledge now, okay? Have a reason. Okay, that's the end of chapter 10. Next week on To Read or Not to Read, Queen of the Night, The Black Tulip Chronicles, chapters 11 through 20. We will be reading 10 chapters. If that's a little too much for you, I'm sorry. I'll try and kind of announce what chapter we're on as we're going. So if you only read 5 chapters at a time, you can pause it and then come back and finish the rest. But yes, we will be reading 10 chapters at a time. See you next week. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.